If you only knew how many bloopers I had while making this message about staying hydrated. Hello. I'm Tamara Wren, your host for Kingdom Birth Conversations with Tamara. This is a place where we have conversations about all things birth through the eyes of a Jesus lover. My desire is to inspire Christians to invite God into their birth room and create curiosity for everyone else. So let's get started on today's message. Can you tell what today's topic is about? No, it's not about how hot I am. Yes, it has something to do with summer. Give up? Okay. Today's message is about the importance of hydration. Whether you are pregnant or parenting or simply looking forward to leading a healthy lifestyle, it is so important for us to stay hydrated. If you are thirsty, that means that you are probably already dehydrated. If you are experiencing low energy, fatigue, muscle cramping, fogginess in terms of your thought process, those are also signs of dehydration. So if you're experiencing any of those things, the first thing you may want to do is make sure you drink some water. Staying hydrated doesn't have to be complicated. Staying hydrated can be as easy as waking up in the morning, having a glass of water, making sure you have some water to drink before each meal, and making sure you have some water at least 45 minutes or an hour before you go to bed at night so you don't have to keep getting up and maybe going to the bathroom. Staying hydrated can be something that you incorporate into your daily activities. So for example, if I'm eating a meal, then I drink some water first. If I'm going outside, then I have some water first. If I'm going for a walk or to play sports or go to the gym, then I have some water. If I'm working out, I make sure I have some water with me. If I'm going to my doctor's appointment, I make sure I drink some water first. Those are some easy tips for making sure you stay hydrated. One of the most important aspects of hydration is making sure that you replenish your electrolytes. Electrolytes help you to balance the acid in your body, and they help with bodily functions such as muscle contractions. Some common electrolytes are sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and chloride. Electrolytes can be found in the foods that we eat, and when we're not getting enough, we can drink them in fluids that we either purchase when we purchase beverages, or you can make a drink and add different items to it to make sure that you have a balance of electrolytes. So what are some of the ways that we lose electrolytes? There are 3 common ways that you can experience a loss of electrolytes: vomiting, diarrhea, or sweating. If an athlete is out, or if anyone is out, it doesn't have to be an athlete. If you're out during the course of a hot day and you're sweating a lot, you're losing electrolytes. You know, when you sweat a lot, your skin can have a salty taste to it. Your sweat tastes salty. That's you losing the sodium in your body. When children have diarrhea or vomiting, or when an adult has diarrhea or vomiting, they're really sick. You know, you can take something like Pedialyte. Pedialyte is a beverage, a medicine, whatever you want to call it, but that replenishes the electrolytes in your body. So in those instances, when someone has diarrhea or vomiting, water is not enough. They need to replenish the electrolytes that are lost as a result of the diarrhea or the vomiting. as well as needing to replenish your body with electrolytes when you're sweating a lot. I remember when I was younger, when Gatorade first came out, and I remember being at track meets and they'd bring this big orange cooler of this stuff, and it's like, what is this stuff? And it was absolutely disgusting. And it's so funny that people just drink it now on a regular, because it was created for athletes. It was what we would drink at a track meet to make sure that we stayed hydrated. So sports drinks are another form of having a beverage that has electrolytes in it as well. One of the drawbacks of using sports drinks is the fact that many of them have a lot of added sugar. And although you can have sugar in a drink that is replenishing your electrolytes, you don't want to overdo it. You can also buy a sports drink that has zero added sugar, but then the flip side of that is, if it's an artificial sweetener, how healthy is that for your body? What I'm going to do today is give you a few different ways that you can replenish electrolytes with a more natural drink. And the first thing I want to share with you is coconut water. So coconut water is something that I recommend to my clients. Coconut water without lots of added sugar has a high percentage of potassium and calcium in it, and it has a small amount of sodium. So it's definitely a good natural beverage for you to drink when you want to replenish your electrolytes. You can also buy some brands that don't have the added sugar, but this particular one only has 4% sugar in it, so it has 2 grams of added sugar. So, that shouldn't be too much depending on what your needs are. Something else that my clients can do, or that I share with them, is they can create what's called a labor aid. So a labor aid is essentially your own electrolyte beverage. You make it yourself, and this way you can add as much or as little of the ingredients that you like. So I have 3 recipes, and I'll just give you an example of some of the ingredients that might be included in any of them. So of course we start off with our water, and for the sweetener you may add honey. Now, it's okay to have some sweetener in your electrolyte beverage because you need that for energy. There's also lemon juice, which helps with the acid balance. There's the salt, which replenishes the sodium, or you can use regular table salt, but it's much better if you use sea salt. Then there's also crushed calcium tablets, and one recipe calls for baking soda. And another one is just like really simple. It has orange juice, sugar, and salt. Now, what I would say, if you have any issues with your insulin resistance or your numbers, how your numbers look for your glucose levels, you want to be really careful about how much sugar you're adding and what the source of it is, because orange juice can be very sweet. So if you're making a labor aid that already has orange juice in it, and then you're adding lots of sugar, that could be definitely an overkill. So what I will do is I will put in the show notes 2 recipes for a labor aid, and also just remind you that coconut water is also an excellent option because it doesn't have a lot of extra stuff in it. And if you don't like the taste of coconut water, you can always buy one that's been flavored with another fruit. So maybe you might get like lemon flavor or orange flavor or whatever other kind of flavor you want. But just make sure that you're getting one that doesn't have lots and lots of sugar added, because that ends up being counterproductive. That concludes the message for today. The next time we get together, I'm going to share with you spiritual hydration and talk to you a little bit about what is living water. Why do we need to be spiritually hydrated, and why is that just as important, if not in some cases more important than physical hydration? In the meantime, I want you to leave a message, share, like, comment, let me know how this information is resonating with you, and please make sure that you stay hydrated and you keep cool. Until next time.